studios. We're about to go and see where it all started, what's happened to it.
Memories are made of this. I'm so glad we can go inside because you're entering a piece of London history here, ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you. Every single band that you care to name is performed in here. Outside here in the street,
World's press.
the world's press, all the way round the block, from Michael Fagan when he was in bed with the Queen of England. That was something else, wasn't it?
And he was inside rehearsing with us.
Rehearsing God Save the Queen. Welcome.
I have the pictures
If we
to
can
show
get in,
you.
like Berlin and now.
I know, paint.
Yeah. Here we are, mate.
Right, quick tour at the end. To my right was where the first 4-track studio was. Small arch over there was the booth in the recording studio, the famous corridor, the black and orange tiles. The office. Over here. Jock's famous phone box is here.
We've done the Last Supper here, 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, the bunker. Everything that we did was recorded here. Thank you, lads, and a happy Christmas to you all. Thank you. See you when we're rich. Folks, the famous Monkeys. See what happens when you do a film with the Bollock Brothers. Look, brand new jacket, just bought today, and here he is.
Came from Alaska.
I did tell you to mind the paint, monk.
Yeah.
After he went in.
Cheers for that, Keith. Thanks for helping.
So it's the motto for Monkey is peace and joy.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and a Merry Christmas and get the paint off.
Don't leave paint down your chimney.
Cheers. Some cool stuff here. All right, mate. How are you?
Bragging away.
Yeah. Hey. Hey, Fred. How you doing, mate?
I'm fine.
Fred, do you remember us? The band? Yeah. Mate, a Bunny's in you, Fred. God rest his soul. Bunny was really a character, I can tell you. Fred, you were a mate of Buster, weren't you? The great train robber.
He used to rent one of my stalls around there. Really? Yeah. The flower store? Yeah. Next stop, flower store, man.
I wonder if all yous and the rest of the world know about the great train robbery. Look it up if you don't know. Fred's very famous because Fred's motto in life was, the old bill come that way, Fred goes that way. There he is. How much is he, Fred? I'll be back for that. I'm going to give you one of Jerry's notes. I'm sorry, I've got some.
I've still got some.
Have you got it?
That's the poster of most of the bands. There's Big Country, the Subs, the Vibrators, Primal Scream, Creation Records, Katrina and the Waves.
What I love, Keith and Monkey, is this one is of the girls with Joe. You know, we're doing Drax Back, things like that, and of course, this is incredible. What I'm going to show you now, folks. This Keith with the beard. It looks like the Cavern in Liverpool.
Studio 4
like the Beatles in the Cavern. What was it?
1980.
Yeah. And here you've got the incredible.
Here,
Ian Higgins. Yeah, our producer. And here, Keith, I wanted to. We made world history here, folks. World history. That one.
bus at Edgewood store was. At 6 o'clock in the evenings, as Alaska was fishing, he used to pack up, follow us to the Wellington pub across the road. He'd walk in, have a drink, and a chat with all the bands.
Going loco down in Acapulco. Show your bus pass to the driver. Show your bus pass. Unlike Johnny Rotten, we can't afford to take an open air bus. So Keith and I, we got to travel on the bus down below. Rotten, up yours, son.
Up yours, John.
Everybody likes
Where
my
we go? Tell them where we go.
We're going over the... Where we go?
We're going over Waterloo Bridge.
We're going over Waterloo Bridge. Last time I went over this bridge, I had a Jaguar. The police stopped me here in the middle. They said, what have you got in the car? You got to hand them the keys, you know, in those days to the police. I says, oh, I've got a dwarf in the back. And he says, you're nicked. I said, what do you mean I'm nicked? He calls over the superintendent, I'm nicking these, whatever. I says, why don't you look in the boot of the car, John? So he opens up the boot, what did he find? Wee Tony the sex dwarf. He was in the middle of pulling himself. And we Tone, all right, Tone? And they measured him to see if he was a dwarf they were looking for.
Use all the standard. Use all the standard. Use all the standard.
Mandy, over in Australia, how are you, darling?
What, Mandy?
We'll never forget you. This is where, folks, the famous Mandy at the Standard and the Metro Stove, and she kept the band alive. We used to come here, borrow a few quid off Mandy.
Free Melody Maker on a Thursday.
Yeah, do you remember that? What else? Yeah.
And then we all had a J. Arthur when we got back.
Happy Christmas, Mandy. Freaking old Gary Lineker just walked by, didn't he, Monk? We saw a monkey and we thought he knew him from the Arsenal. He legged it. We nearly got him in the film. Anyway, the last saying, folks. The early days of the band, the 4B2s, we played here a lot. Before that, I was DJing here with Cat Stevens. Does anybody remember him?
Morning has broken like the first morning.
Yeah, he was. And what I remember about it was he asked me to park his car for him, and I forgot where I left it because I was pissed. I hope he found it. Cat, I hope he's changed his name in here or something. Where's he now?
Oh, Hamid Food Girls.
I think is he okay?
Christmas in London.
It's Christmas time. There's no need to
Rocking around the Christmas tree
with the happy Christmas sparks. Everybody's dancing merrily, and Keith has lost his wallet.
Whoa.
Folks, welcome to the Roxy. Very emotional moment for me here because I wasn't in the original Roxy, you know, with the original, but I came in at the back. But in at the back, we tried to keep the place open, so we invaded Capital Radio. Do you remember that? We Nicky Horn knocked it off the air. But for the last day, I needed to find something special, and I couldn't find it. And well, I did. I found it.
Sorry. Hold on, I'll come back.
Nice house. And what was special, Monkey and Keith, was Keith and I went down to that pub down the road there. See the pub there, Monkey, the free house behind you? We went down there. It was sitting in the pub, but Iggy Pop. Couldn't believe my luck. I went over to Iggy and I said, listen, Iggy, so last days of the Roxy, we needed to get something. And he goes, do they know any of my numbers? I says, yeah, they know them all. Who were the band? The Outsiders, who turned to be the Sound. Do you remember the Sound? Adrian and the Sound, God rest his soul. Didn't think Iggy would turn up. On the last two numbers, just ready to say goodbye, who jumps on the stage? Iggy himself, doing raw power and no fun. How was that, folks? Eh? Couldn't believe it. Said farewell to the history of punk rock in London.
What about the squatting?
The squatting was more, the punks done that, Monkey, and you were down feeding them all, weren't you? He was bringing them down, grabbing all that, playing your acoustic songs.
Asking for them, money.
Those were the days, my friend. I thought they'd never end. We sing and dance ever under day. Yes, Gary Lineker again.
All right, Gary.
Yeah.
Through the tulips, by the garden, that is where I'm going to tiptoe through with Harry Potter and me. Harry Potter. Harry! On our way to Billy's Farm.
The dead chicken out. The dead chicken.
The famous dead chicken.
Here we are at Billy's.
Famous dead chicken.
Kicked off here with Dave Archer before we went to Studio 21. I think this is for the Psychedelic Furs. I put on the Psychedelic Furs first concert in London here, and the owner of the club told me there was too many people, there was queues all the way around. Charlie Harper from the UK, Charlie frequent here, and Lemmy used to be over there at the pub across the road, and then he would come in here from Motorhead. God rest his soul. Billy's was Sex Pistols night here, and I think the early days of Steve Strange and his crowd before they opened the Blitz all kicked off here. But it's, as you can notice, folks, as we're going on, all of London, they're closing everything down on us here. So, you know what I mean, soon there'll be nothing left. Or is there anything left here?
Just holding it up.
And
We're the ones keeping it going.
the Rolling Stones, we piss anywhere. I'm going to take my time here, ladies and gentlemen, and Keith and I'll explain to you, because we're really at a huge piece of history here in London. Welcome to the Marquee Club. Welcome to the Marquee. David Bowie used to stand outside here in the summer with full maquillage, saying, why won't people come into the club because it was too hot inside? I was the third DJ here, and one of the greatest concerts that I saw here was AC/DC. Do you remember that one,
Yeah,
Keith?
Okay.
With Bon Scott. That blew me away. And what it was that I was the third DJ. Andy Dunkley and Jeff Dexter were the two main DJs. But the Who here, 3 nights running, was amazing. Rory Gallagher. The list is endless. It was like, here is like, and look what it is now, ladies and gentlemen. What have we got? Soho Live, Loves. You go upstairs, the young lady looks after you for a couple of quid. The Bollock Brothers gig, tell them about that.
We had the honour of playing here. One of the hottest gigs I ever done.
Oh God, yeah.
In the audience, as Jock said earlier, was David Bowie watching us, full Monty dancing away. Great
Amazing,
night.
amazing. It was like Sex Pistols used to stand round the back of the Marquee, waiting for the vans to come up, say from Leeds, and they would come up, travelling all that way up the M1 from what way, and fatty English used to run up to them and say, "Sorry mate, the gig's been cancelled tonight, give them a false check." And they'd fuck off and the Pistols would come in and be the support band. It all happened here. We used to go up to Le Chasse, a private drinking club up the road there. Keith Munn was the barman. Big Roger Nixon ran the bar. You remember that? I mean, unbelievable. Phil Collins hadn't got a penny to his name then, folks. Used to look after him. Amazing. Here we go. So give us a song then, Keith, to
What do you sing outside the Marquee?
yeah, give me a Stones number there, because they played. Charlie what?
Charlie met his wife here.
Yeah! Charlie, God rest his soul, Charlie met the wife here when she was a cloakroom girl. I've got it on the table, so give us a Stones
And he
number
sung,
then,
"It's
Keith.
a honky tonk women.
Oh, no,
Give me the honky tonk blues."
Don't bother, Keith. Don't bother. Here we are in the Shed. One of the most famous pubs in the world for rock musicians. Everybody would come here and then go to the Marquee Club. We were all in this place. We named the band, they'd come in here for a drink. And Keith Moon from The Who, Keith used to look after us, and these were the days.
A bit.
Thanks very much. Ladies and gentlemen, meet two young lovely ladies. Oh, sorry, not ladies. Two lovely boys, threes and from Holland, over in England for Christmas, enjoying the football. They were at the Arsenal last night, and tonight they're going to Chelsea. Is that right? The reason it was nice to meet the boys was because I was telling the gentlemen that I played with Herman Brood in the Wild Romance in Germany in a club in Coesville. And then I came back to London, and by the way, we're in the Ship, which is a famous English pub. Came back to London, and there was Herman Brood. Front page of the Times, he jumped off the... Would you give us a little message in your language, in Netherlands, alsjeblieft?
Yeah, of course. What do you want?
Whatever you want for Christmas.
Whatever you want for Christmas.
Ja.
Oké. Wij wensen iedereen een fijne kerst toe, een gezond 2023 en hopelijk alles weer in orde. Geen COVID.
Here we are now, ladies and gentlemen, at the 100 Club. Ultra famous, as you know. Give you a little example here of Blondie at the 100 Club, you know. Coming back yet again. And my mum and dad, God rest their soul, I had the honour of the Bollock Brothers playing here. Do you remember that one?
Yes, I was on that stage myself.
And it was absolutely amazing for my mum and dad to see me in London. It's such a famous club, but we've all been here. This moment, please.
Yeah.
Okay, you
Let's get you up there.
used to have a piano there with a...
Yeah, where's the piano gone? Where has it gone?
Yeah.
Is it still?
I can remember it being here when I played, and I put my little Marshall hand here.
Ready, Mark?
Yes, going.
It definitely is Christmas now, because guess what, folks? We've been honoured enough to be in the famous 100 Club. And what more do I need to say than this? I'm going to say nothing, I'm just going to let Monkey show you the club.
It don't change much. Never change much, does it?
And we have Robert Plant Absolutely brilliant. I didn't think, I mean, how lucky can you get?
Can't beat this, mate.
I mean, how lucky?
One of the most famous. Who ain't stood on this stage, Jock?
Huh?
Who hasn't stood
Well,
on here? Let's stand here.
The Rolling Stones.
Who ain't?
Who ain't?
Who ain't? Oscar Peter's piano is over there.
You
There,
carry
look.
on, Keith.
Oscar Peterson's piano is here. When we performed it used to be on stage with us, and our keyboard player used it. Absolutely brilliant.
Mum and Dad, Maria, Mum and Dad sitting now, watch. When I came on, I was incredibly nervous, you know, but we did it, so thank God for that, really. Absolutely brilliant. Well, folks, I'm home. As you can see, no more Studio 21. London has become a building site. But here is where Keith and I put the Sex Pistols on Christmas Day with Billy Idol on vocals.
Youth on bass.
And bass with the Bollock Brothers supporting. Now, think, folks, Christmas Day. There was no buses. Nothing. You couldn't get anywhere. You had to walk to get here. And the Guinness Book of Records wouldn't acknowledge me for the fact that I'd done this. And the first show in London supporting was with
Bananarama.
the two girls from Bananarama who were here.
Aaron, etc.
Idol and the Pistols were amazing. They opened up with Roadrunner, then Waiting for the Man, No Fun, I think. Can't remember them all. Bollock Brothers played. Youth at that time was with Killing Joke. Steve Jones had gonorrhea, because I remember when he came back to my gaff, he couldn't find a doctor to get a quick shot of penicillin in his arse. Amazing. Then of course we had Human League, Depeche Mode, Culture Club,
Spandau Ballet.
Soft Cell, no, not Spandau, they were up the road in the Blitz, they were a competition. But it was a very funny story which Monkey likes. It was when Daft made their first debut here. The club was Jewish owned, and Bernard and his sons. Daft came in wearing kind of military uniforms, you know. And Bernard freaked out, and I had to take them back to Peckham and change the clothes of David Archer, God rest his soul. When Daft changed, they look even worse, they look even more German than they did before. But eventually we persuaded Bernard to let them on, and Dancer Mussolini was amazing. I've seen them all here, I've seen them all. This is where Chris, God rest his soul, played his last gig. For me, he came down. I got the acoustic guitar in the house, which you'll see later on when we go up. Keith's going to play a few numbers on it for you. The office girls were all here. Chris started playing, and it was fantastic to see. He left me, and I had a funny feeling I wouldn't see him again, you know? C'est la vie. Hi folks, we've had a hard day's filming all over London. Here we are back at home, and we're going to have a little chat with you. But Keith's going to go
Down to London, down to Alaska Street,
down the road again,
right up through the Marquee, the 100 Club and Studio 21.
we're on the road again.
Now we're back in London Bridge. We're just going to tell you a little story.
And here is his story, ladies and gentlemen, the infamous Mr. Keith Bradshaw.
Yeah, spinning blues means packing my bags and go.
Where you going, Keith?
Yeah, spinning blues means packing my bags and go.
Where you going, boy?
Well, I read 27 didn't do me right.
I'll take it from here, Keith. Well, I believe you're doing me wrong. I believe you're doing Jock wrong. I spent all my money on you, babe, and that is my song.
And sitting in the bedroom late last night.
Dun, 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 dun. I jumped in the bed and turned out the light.
You're off the hook. 2, 3, 4.
Decided to call Monkey on the telephone.
You're off the hook.
Then I found out that he's not alone. He's with the riders.
He's with the riders. He's with the riders.
Well, it's Christmas song.
He's having a beano with the riders.
And Mr. Benzie boy.
Benzie!
I believe you're doing me wrong. Well, I believe you're doing me wrong. I'm gonna cook my fish and chicken, baby, and sing another song. Bye bye, sugar. So here it is, Merry Christmas. What, you got the skeleton behind?
Cheers, good health, man.
Christmas in Marquee.
Merry Christmas.